Hey camper, Mark here. Got some outdoor foraging survival techniques. Foraging, basically, I ain't got no techniques. But, well, find yourself out in the woods. You don't have any knowledge of plant life or the wildlife that you can eat. You're pretty much in a pickle. So I saw this lovely tree here. That's good firewood. So I'm going to show you what I found. And I found, before I walk off in here, I found several things. Oh, forgive me for the smoke, but, well, I enjoy it. So here we go. I want to show you this. This right here. I think I've made a couple of videos where this is one of the, man, this is a wide range vine. It's called catbrier. It usually grows some new growth, they call it tendrils, on the end of it. Apparently the insects have gotten it. Here in a minute I'm going to go a little bit deeper and I'm going to find some that are, it's edible. The whole plant is actually edible. There's a root someplace that's, you can roast it over a fire and eat it. Here's one area. Here's one right here, but this is kind of the hard, thick part. Usually there'll be new growth on the end of this, and it's really tender, and you can boil it, steam it, roast it. But actually the whole thing is edible. It's just a little bit harder. Got some my dog, Roscoe, this is my partner. Partner in crime, Roscoe. Roscoe Pico train. Roscoe, get back so I can get a picture of you, dog. Please stop. There he is. He's a critter getter, I tell you what. He's already caught me a couple mice a while back. Well, I don't like eating mice, so I don't eat them. So let's walk through here and see if I can find some of those young tendrils. A little late in the season, usually grasshoppers will get them, or insects. But you can always find the new growth, get kind of cool. Usually comes out in the spring, early fall, all throughout the year you can find it. Okay, well here's like an evergreen or a spruce right here. Pop that off. Make the tea packed and load it with vitamin C. Get the young branches. Not to make a tea. Don't strip the whole tree. Just strip take what you need. You probably wouldn't do this, but I like something that has more of an evergreen cedar. Likes that. Oh, here's something I want to show you as well. If you find yourself, I don't know where you'll find yourself, but anyway, if you decide to go backpacking or camping, that's great. A lot of people have a lot more experience than I do. Usually they pack their food in and whatnot. And, okay. Here's some holly. This looks like a holly. I'm not quite sure, but these right here, I would probably try this. They're not ripe yet. They're not ready. Little berries. Too much effort. They're probably edible when I would imagine they turn red or blue. I do believe this is some kind of holly tree. I'm almost certain of it. You can roast these, boil them, make a jam out of it. But here's what I want to show you. Oh, shelter. Yeah, that's where I got it. Yeah, I've been working a pinch. Watch out for critters in there. Yeah, it goes all the way across. Y'all see that? Pretty cool. You can set up your tarp on the outside. You'd have a little overhang to water out. Here's a little creek, dried up creek bed. Get down up here by some roots of the trees. Kind of thick brush. I'm not gonna go in there right now. Since this is only like my third or fourth video, here in a few months, I'm going to be going back out into the mountains, into the woods of either Colorado, New Mexico, or Texas. I haven't decided yet. I'm closer to Texas, and I'm going to go in a little bit more in-depth detail about the foraging and all that, and insects. I'm not too keen on eating insects. Because well, I don't want to eat them. But anything with 6 legs, if it has 8 legs, don't eat it. It's probably poisonous. You can eat snakes, rabbits, squirrels, field mice, birds. Have fun. I'm going to stick with the foraging at first. If you have like a out nature has a certain garden. People ask, where do I get this experience? Field testing, trial and error, mostly. Not trial and error. I've never eaten anything that's made me sick. Drinking any poisonous water, and I don't plan on it. Good rule of thumb: when in doubt, throw it out. But the vine here is edible. Yeah, closer look at it. This is the campfire that I was just talking about. It's I like the tender new growth that comes in. But this whole thing, you can steam it, boil it. I could probably get that vine to become soft enough where it's edible. The new growth you could eat raw, but you can roast this or boil it or steam it. And if you could take the time, you can go down here and find that root. And you chop the root up, make a flour out of it, chop off part of it and roast it. Packed with vitamins and minerals. Here we go. First, let's make sure where these berries are coming from. Okay, this is coming off a vine. I would have to identify a little bit more carefully, because I'm not sure either. Let's see here. There we go. Alright, there's some red berries on there. Yeah, I like red. I'm not quite sure, so when in doubt, throw it out. Pretty simple. Now, I do believe it's a campfire, though, but the effort that it would take to get these berries together, I only found 2. There's a cluster of them in there. But not worth the effort. It's not going to do anything for me. You can, like I said, you can mash them up, roast them. Let's see. Yeah, they got little seeds in them, which, yeah, I don't like that. But hey, like I say, I'm in doubt, so I throw it out. Pretty simple. I'm going down here pretty quick. I'm not looking for a little trash there. I'll pick that up later. Not looking for mushrooms. There are over 2,000 different species of mushrooms that grow in the United States, and I've read something that only about 250 of them are edible. So, unless you can, once again, you cannot possibly, just don't eat it. There's not enough nutritional value in a mushroom to be worth the while unless you find a whole package of morels. Here we go. Beans. What about a beanstalk? I'm not quite sure if it's edible. Well, hold on. I know it's edible. I'm just not quite sure if it's ready to eat. Hold on, let me make sure here. What kind of tree bush that's coming off of. Yeah, if I remember. Let's go. Oh, Bubba. Let's go. In case you all are wondering where I'm at, I'm actually off on the road outside of Arkansas, or in Arkansas, outside of Texarkana. Right off the side of the road. Now, you'll get all the grease, oil, dirt. Everybody knows this. Solubles, there's no curb, no drainage. And most of these plants are solubles. So that means they absorb all the nasty stuff that's coming right off the road. So, if you have the opportunity to go at least 25 feet, 25 yards, into the brush to collect any wild animals, try to avoid the ones right off the side of the road. Although, right in this area, I have harvested the catbrier and blackberries, and I've never had any problems. So that is about, I would say I'm at least, that's about 25 feet or so from the road. I would probably avoid drinking out of the creek unless I boiled the water. Sorry, I'm calling Roscoe back over here. And let's see. Man, this is thick up in here. So I'm going to shoot another video here in a couple of weeks when I go on vacation. I'll be up in the, God, hopefully I'll make it to the mountains. And I'll get a more extensive, knowledgeable video for you all. I'm still going to look at this bean pod. A seed pod is what I would call it. As a matter of fact, I know it's not ripe because it's still, well, green. That's always a good sign. You're looking for it to be brown, stuff like that. So I want to thank you all for taking the time to watch this. Hey, post any comments below. I don't answer to any negative comments, so I don't read them. So if you have some, I'm not going to get into a whole lot of scientific jargon because, well, if you're really in a survival situation, you're not going to remember any of it anyway. So basically, if you find yourself in a backpacking, hunting situation and you're injured or something like that, that's a whole different level. I'll hopefully be able to try to cover some of that backwoods survival first aid training and stuff like that. Basically, if you find yourself in a situation like that where you could become injured or lose your life, you have to remain calm. All right? Don't panic, don't freak out, don't go running into the woods screaming for help. Okay? If you're missing, don't worry about it. Why don't you just try to live out there? That's pretty much what I'm going to do. Sit down, chill the hell out. Alright, you're camping. Alright, you got 48 hours to several days. With 48 hours without water, 3 days maybe without water. You'll make it, don't mind water. You get thirsty and hungry enough, you'll start looking. Alright, peace. Love you. Check it out.